Renu Khator was born in Farrukhabad, a small town in northern India. This community was very traditional in its customs and maintained a strong caste system.
If you tell another Indian that I'm a Marwari, because that's the caste that I come from, they just like their mouth just open wide because they can't believe somebody from that clan and community and being a woman actually could be in the workforce in this manner today.
Renu was raised with two siblings and lived in a large home made possible by her father's successful legal business. In fact, in her extended family were many lawyers.
I always admired my father for the way he handled the most difficult situations. But then I think my mom had a great influence on me because she's the one who never let me feel that I was a woman and I couldn't do certain things. I mean, for her, I was as important, my education was as important, my exams were as important as my brothers.
In the traditional manner of her region, Renu attended an all-girls school until the 9th grade, at which point students made a choice between higher education in commerce, science, or liberal arts. She wanted to go into the law or medicine, but her father was against such professions for a girl. Luckily, a liberal arts school for girls, Kanpur University, opened nearby, and she enrolled with the goal to be the very best.
The only one thing I wanted to do, that was my obsession, passion, and that was to get the highest degree possible. Why? I can't tell you because I didn't have any role model to see, but that was just one of the things that attracted me like magnet.
A door to a master's degree opened when she received a special Indian government scholarship. The only problem was that it meant she would have to leave home for Allahabad University.
When I won that, I told my dad, look, even the government of India understands that I should do higher education. I should go for it. So my father and we had several arguments, and many members of my family, they did come along on my side. And I finally went to Allahabad University. And that's where India's political leaders were being groomed. So I was very attracted to that, so that's where I went.
From the beginning of her college years, Renu displayed a great talent for writing. The subjects she tackled were drawn from the turbulent times in India.
I think I just had a desire to express, particularly on women's rights, particularly on role of the family, and some of the political things I saw around me. Because when I was growing up, India went through several wars. However, I didn't have an outlet for it, so that's how I think I took on writing and just sent my poem for publishing. And I was 15 years old when the first one got published, and I think that was the time my dad paid attention and said, "Oh my goodness."
Renu's father was paying attention when another milestone approached. 9 months into her master's at Allahabad University, he decided to commence the process for an arranged marriage for Renu.
When he chose my future husband, he didn't go with the very typical traditional choice, which is to marry in the same level of family wealth, because my father was quite blessed. He's figured out that I'm one of those people who's going to need her own space to grow. So he looked for somebody who was going to provide me space, and sure enough, his gamble turned out very good.
Suresh Khator was a graduate student at Purdue University, and after their marriage, he took Renu back to the United States and Indiana to finish his PhD in industrial engineering. For the 19-year-old Renu, her whole world was changing.
I didn't understand the language, and I had no idea even what McDonald's is. I had absolutely no idea. And I came from such a privileged household. And here my husband was a graduate student on $150 per month scholarship. My most memorable moment from those very early first week or few days is that my husband took me to ice cream shop, and we bought ice cream, and I'm holding my cone of ice cream and just walking back home, and he says, "Well, why aren't you gonna eat it?" And I said, "Here on the street?" And he says, "Yes, of course, on the street." I thought, what a great country. You can actually eat your ice cream on the street.
Renu enrolled at Purdue to complete her master's in political science. At the same time, she continued to educate herself on the new culture she found herself in.
I always really credit my professors there at Purdue who gave me a chance, and even though I couldn't speak English, told me just, okay, go ahead and take 2 courses and we'll see what happens. And then I really, really worked so hard. I watched 8 hours of television a day by keeping a log. Andy Griffith, I Love Lucy, and Dick Van Dyke, all of those shows, just so that I can catch up on English.
Upon graduating from Purdue, Suresh had many job offers. He chose the University of South Florida because it was a new and growing institution that offered opportunities for advancement. Renu commuted between Purdue and Tampa while she completed her PhD in political science and public administration. When a position opened up at the University of South Florida, Renu jumped at the chance to join her husband, and she rapidly moved up in the university system.
Every 2 years, I had a new business card. Whether it was because my academic appointment changed from assistant to associate to full professor, or whether my administrative appointment changed from assistant to the president, to department head, to dean, to vice president. So I've had really a very, very good career, very good training at the University of South Florida, because the university grew and I grew, so the impact was exponential.
3 years into her position as Provost Senior Vice President, Renu began to get new job offers.
One of the things that I really wanted to look for was a community that not just accepts diversity, but celebrates diversity. And Houston is exactly that kind of city. I was looking for a city and a university that is ready to play in the global arena, because today's society is global. Houston is a global city, and University of Houston is a global place here.
Chosen to be U of H's president and system chancellor, Renu became the system's first woman chancellor and the first Indian immigrant to head a comprehensive research university in the United States. During her first year, the U of H system experienced record-breaking student enrollment and private support.
After I arrived here, I launched a 100-day campaign. And that campaign was basically to invite the community to give me my charge. I went and spoke at any and every event at the community that I was invited to, from Rotary Club to Chamber of Commerce, wherever, and basically asking people, here's the website, tell me what I should do at the University of Houston. You would think that there would be 100, 200 people who would be interested. I got 12,000 suggestions.
Renu also serves on numerous advisory boards and councils, including the Greater Houston Partnership, the Texas Medical Center, the Museum of Fine Arts India Gallery, and the Global Advisory Board for the Government of India. Through all the activity and with all the honors, she continues to value the company and wisdom of friends and family, especially her husband.
Whatever little I am today, it's because of him. He has been my mentor, my teacher, my friend, and my companion. That was one of the things. People say, well, you're a woman, you're international, you have accent, those are 3 strikes against you. I've never in my life let those events minimize me or made me feel a victim. If I fell, I got up and said, well, we gotta work hard, gotta work more. I told my daughters always, don't ask life to be easy, ask it to be rewarding. And you are in the right country if that's what you're looking for.